Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CCS Sun Belt Championship match presented by the Sideline Sports Network. I'm back with Somber as Texas State, the 2 seed, takes on number 1 Louisiana, here to play for a Sun Belt title. Somber, we get a bid stealer alive and well tonight with Texas State.
Yeah, I mean, this is a relatively new, at least to my eyes, Texas State roster. I don't remember them, at least from their trackers, them being this high ranked. So I initially, when you told me this was going to be the matchup, I was like, Louisiana wash. But taking a look at the roster and kind of what they've been able to do throughout the season, Texas State, they might be able to sneak one away from Louisiana here if they're feeling hot. But it's going to be an interesting matchup nonetheless.
Well, this match went to Game 5 in the regular season, and Lost told me that Texas State's way better than they have been in the past. This could get interesting, but again, like you, I'm expecting Louisiana to come out on top with ease. But again, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen, as we know at Somber. We'll wait and see what happens here on the field tonight.
Yeah, the loss earlier in the season, we've seen that we've seen it not play too much into playoffs, and we have seen it. The last time you and I were together on this stream, we saw a team that got swept in the regular season then go on to win it in 5 and continue their playoff hopes. So maybe we see another situation like that where Texas State, they got that Bobcat in them tonight, and they really take it to Louisiana. But Louisiana has been such a consistent squad with lost Juro and is it Jackson now?
Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, now Jackson, like Juro and Lost, they're going to run that 2-man offense for Louisiana, and they're a really tough duo to stop. We've seen it time and time again throughout seasons upon seasons of Louisiana Rocket League here for CCS. So again, they're heavy favorites, but I think that Texas State, this is the best squad they've had to date to be able to take down a team like Louisiana. So I'm hoping for some interest and some intrigue here on the state of Texas State, but I'm hard pressed to pick anyone but Louisiana in this matchup.
I mean, I am too. I think, this is a really good Louisiana roster that, again, last season won the Sun Belt title, took it to James Madison with pitching and beat him. Mm-hmm. So again, this is a good roster for Louisiana. They're going to have a good team for years to come. They're all youngsters at ULL, and I think as this season goes on, Louisiana's going to do some damage in the tournament. I think that's a given here. I'm excited to see how far they go, Somber. But nonetheless, there's 2 bid stealers alive tonight. Both could be killed by the end of the night as teams in the bubble cut line are hoping to God that Idaho and Texas State do not win tonight.
Yeah, man, it's always so interesting this part of the season to see, you get some of your expected, and then, I mean, you also see some of the unexpected. We saw last night with Northeastern upsetting Drexel, having these bid steals and having these teams show out when they need to is always so fun here to wrap up the season right before, Selection Monday coming up. But it's always tough because you want to see teams. I wish that we could get, a guaranteed for Texas State because, like I said, their roster is much improved. I'd like to see what kind of damage they could do in a bracket. But if they can't grab the win here, it's going to be a tough case for them to make it further on. But the benefit of tonight is you do have that best of 7. So we're no longer in best of 5 territories with the championship on the line for the conference. So maybe you get a little bit of grace tomorrow to Louisiana. But I'm just excited to see what Texas State is able to come out and do.
As am I. I think, again, Northeastern's case, they were in at large no matter what. That was not really necessarily what I'd call a bid stealer. But again, if Idaho beat NAU is in at large and Idaho is in as an AQ, same thing goes here for Texas State, Louisiana. So those last 2 teams that are currently in the field right now, if either one of those 2 teams win, they're out. So we'll have to wait and see how the night progresses here. But again, I'm expecting Louisiana and NAU to clean up shop tonight, and there should be no bid stealers. But again, we'll have to wait and see. It's what collegiate conference has been about. We've seen a lot of cinema in the past and a lot of crazy, thrilling upsets in a couple of these conference tournaments.
Yeah. On the topic of Northeastern, another case to me at least with Louisiana taking this one is in non-conference. They did take down Northeastern in 5, and that Northeastern team, when it comes to not their conference and the big stage, whether it be the bracket or non-conference, they're a tough team to beat. So Louisiana coming out and starting off the season on the right foot by taking down a squad like Northeastern, it just goes to show that they have what it takes, not just in the Sun Belt, but nationally as well. Texas State, they did get a win over Idaho in non-conference, which really impressed me. I really like that Vandal squad. So them coming out early in the season and kind of having that unexpected result of a sweep over Idaho, and then kind of having just a business as usual for Texas State season. They did finish above Buds, but I know Buds they're still kind of reworking their roster here throughout the summer, so I'm gonna take that with a little bit of grain of salt. But again, Texas State they haven't shown any results to me personally that really wow me. I want to be proven wrong here tonight in this slate, but it's tough to take anyone but the favorites here. But I would love to see Texas State come out and put on some content for us.
Absolutely good. I hope we get a longer series tonight. As again, we'll have to wait to see. Though, as mentioned, the Georgia State roster, we're working on their team for the fall. And I can report that Monk Jr. will be back in the roster in the fall. That's a big addition for Georgia State, as that's going to be a fun one to watch alongside the returning James Madison and this Louisiana roster.
Yeah, Sunbelt's going to be real exciting again. One of my favorite conferences to watch throughout the school seasons during the fall and the spring, having everyone there. I know JMU, they did pick up an incoming freshman. He's around a 2K player to replace Pigeon. The JMU is going to be another interesting squad. So I think that Texas State, if you can show that you got some fight against what has been kind of that always number 2 at a minimum team in the Sun Belt in Louisiana, with a returning JMU squad that's going to be revamped, with Buds that is going to be revamped. If you can show that you can hang with the big dogs, it's going to be a nice fall upcoming for the Sun Belt Conference.
Absolutely is. I mean, I'm excited for the postseason conference tournament changes coming as well. And again, if any of you guys follow college sports or college basketball, the Sun Belt tournament is a gauntlet style bracket, so it's going to be just like that here in CCS. But the players are already joining the field, not letting me tell them to go. So we're getting right down to the field, Somber. Game 1, I didn't even get to tell them to go. They just freaking joined and didn't say anything. We're underway. Game 1, Texas State, Louisiana.
They're ready to get things started. They don't need the go. They just know to go ball. This one's going to be a long clear down the pitch. Lucky and Evo get a little bit tangled up, but do find a clear out into the corner. Juro going to take this one up the sidewall. Does not grab the boost. Will opt to play this one low. Big time 50 right outside the goal box. Jackson trying to play cleanup. Has lost underneath. Rips a shot, but Evo, quick to it, is going to find that one away.
Jackson, a quick give and go attempt there. And, Sunbelt news as well. I mean, again, on Monday, Sunbelt presidents voted to add Louisiana Tech no later than 2027 to the Sunbelt Conference. That's a change coming in the future here in CCS. But again, 40 seconds into regulation play here, Somber. Texas State, heavy underdogs. Can they pull off a miracle tonight?
I think that they can. Again, I did some pregame scouting. Again, not too familiar with Texas State. The last time I believe that I got to actually see them play on the pitch was when they had the in-school rivalry match between them and their academy squad. I believe that was back in season 4, early season. And this roster has changed a lot. Taking a look, they have a 2K player that was hit that 2K peak just a few seasons ago and has been in kind of that upper part of SSL. They got guys that are floating around that 1800 range, right? Kind of similar to what this Louisiana squad is in terms of just pure rank, but skill obviously does not always translate into rank. And I think that's where you get this Louisiana squad where, again, Lost and Juro, they've been playing for a little bit together now, so that chemistry is going to come out. And can Texas State really compete with a duo that has that chemistry built in and have the high level and high flash mechanics that a team like Louisiana brings to the table? So far, they've been able to contend pretty well, but finally, defense does break down, and Law is going to break the stalemate.
Down she is, 3:13 to go, and Louisiana, again, dominant as ever early on here in game 1. And you mentioned not really having to get to watch this Texas State roster a lot. Neither have I. I've only gotten to see them play one time ever, and it was back in season 3 when they first joined the league and played Louisiana in week 1, and they went to game 5 overtime. It was a thrilling series. That's the only time I've gotten to watch this team compete. And Lucky, the senior, is graduating, so he'll be replaced in the fall. This is his final rodeo.
You always love to see a last dance storyline. Throughout this summer, we've seen a few different college competitions, and then now, of course, with CCS, we're seeing some of these guys get that last ride after graduation. They get to squeak in one more round of competition with their guys. And, of course, Lucky would love to come out and pull out a big-time upset win. Still only down by 1, approaching halftime, are the Bobcats, and they're looking to put some pressure on. Lucky bounce not too favorable, but Lyle out in the midfield. Lucky now looking for a bump. Jackson pumps the brakes, will avoid the bump, And now it's Louisiana trying to turn this into a counter opportunity. Nice of 50. Lucky goes, great pinch save, and this one redirect all the way down the pitch for a counter, lost, right place, right time, sends in the second.
2:18 to go to 2-0 lead, lost from downtown. Gonna find a goal to half the game gone. Somber a 2-0 hole as the Bobcats now trailing 2 goals here.
It's going to be tough. They've had these little stints, and it's looked like they might be able to crack through with some pressure, but it's nothing able to really precipitate here on offense as they keep finding themselves in awkward positions, and Louisiana is able to come out and play some good defense. That time there, it was Juro to take away the read. Jackson on the back line will put it into the opposite corner. Lost, no boost. He's trying to put pressure on the ball. Juro misses off the backboard, but Jackson is there to pop that one, keep it away from danger for now. Lucky has to drive the length of the pitch, gets demoed for their efforts, trying to get some offense started for the Bobcats. Lyle down below, quick pop. Nice boost steal from Jackson. Juro to keep the play alive, and Lyle will have to try to clear this one away. But Louisiana looking to be unrelenting here as we approach the final 90 seconds.
Minute 30 to go. Juro off the corner, pass to midfield. No one home. Jackson there late to the challenge. Get a chance to clear and break some pressure. But again, Somber, this clock heavily stacked against Texas State. It's a 2-goal hole still in control here as Louisiana leads by 2 with the final minute approaching.
Juro going to put that one to the backboard. No one up for Louisiana. Geed is going to take this one all the way down the pitch. Jackson will top up the resources. Has Juro at the midfield looking for a bump as well. The team play not on target, but Lost is there to try to clean up. Under a minute to go. Really need to push the pressure and the pace here for Texas State as they have found absolutely nothing throughout game 1. But for Texas State, this is probably one of the better scenarios. You're at least not getting blown out in game 1. Best of 7s do allow for you to take this warm-up game as they don't seem to be too out of place. That one just a little bit awkward. Lost will find in the third and their hat trick on the day. But yeah, kind of chalk this one up. You're now under 40 seconds to go. Maybe you just say GG, go next, and find some momentum in game 2.
38 seconds. Still maybe good amount of time for one more here for the road for Texas State to at least get some offensive momentum going into game 2. But right now, you've been shut out for the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's Lyle trying for one. Couldn't get it to fall. And Texas State, 4.5 minutes with nothing. Something's got to change soon if they're going to have a chance to compete tonight.
Early game, they looked for some demo plays or maybe some bumps. That time, Lyle does find one, but a return demo from Juro and a block to boot. This one will fall awkwardly down, and Lyle will find the tap in here. The first on the board for Texas State. Outside of the opening minute, Nation, it's been a lot of just solo play and hope that the net opens up, and the pressure hasn't really been there for Texas State like it was to open things up. And in game 2, I look to see their offense kind of return to that style.
Absolutely agree. And I think, again, 13 seconds here. There's a chance for one more, but it's going to be very difficult as Lucky might have one look here. Couldn't get that one placed on target properly. This clock will tick down. Louisiana going to lead us 1-0 after the first 5 minutes here. Somber, game 2 up next. Texas State do get one to fall late, but it wasn't enough in the comeback effort.
Yeah, you don't want to say garbage time. Oh, that was almost an extra garbage time goal, but it dings off the crossbar. But you don't want to say garbage time. Every second in a game of Rocket League is important, but being down by 3, putting in 1 goal in the final 13 seconds, not the best showing. But again, if you can kind of return to that form that you had in the opening minute where it's, you get a little solo play, you get a couple touches out of the corner in your opponent's half, you get a bump down below after you finish that play. There's a second man around. You try to get more members involved. I would love to see more of that go the way of Texas State. But outside of that opening minute, they gave up that first goal against Louisiana, and they kind of just dropped that initiative on offense and just said, we're just going to solo play and hope that something opens up down the line. That's not going to be a winning style of Rocket League against Louisiana because they will then just counter you, get a comfortable lead, play out clock. You need to really pressure them and put them on their back foot from the jump. We get to see here in game number 2 if they can do just that.
That we will. It's game 1. Texas State did outshoot the Raging Cajuns by just one singular shot, and again, the goal difference was 2. So the offense is a little bit more efficient here for ULL, but the first 15 seconds off the mark, and Louisiana already a couple looks early.
Big time 50 from Lyle. Lucky with the follow-up 50 will not find it against Juro. Lost backwards, will find the flip in, but not the goal. Geed will take that one away and now starts their charge down the pitch. Jackson takes away possession. Nice little chip touch from Lyle to keep that one off target. Jackson with the ceiling reset just goes backboard. Demo down below on Lucky. Might open things up for Juro to shoot, but just off target on the touch. Loss will just pop and opt to find a rotation back. Lucky, no boost. Lyle to try to take over the play. Jackson will take it all the way back down to the ground. Now go ground to air. Flip reset. Juro on the pre-jump. Gets the bump. Juro. That one going to be pinched in by the defense. Juro off the give and go. Gets the first goal for the Raging Cajuns.
Now it looks like it's part of an own goal here, Somber. 4:05 to go. It was off the bar down in by a defender. So 55 seconds in. The first one is good for Louisiana as Texas State again trailing by 1.
This is what's so dangerous about this Louisiana squad. You can get these give and go plays between Juro and Lost. You can get Jackson involved on the offense and you can really pressure teams, but you can also pull out plays that just scramble the defense like that. An absolute tone setter here in game number 1, saying, hey, game 1 was not a fluke. Here in game 2, we're going to change the pace and show you that we have a full arsenal at our disposal. You're going to have to beat us in more ways than one. And now with the first goal on the board in favor of Louisiana, they're going to be playing with some confidence.
That they are. 3:30 to play in the clock so far in game 2. We'll see if Texas State can get us to equilibrium here. Salvers locked from the corner, puts it on the mark, couldn't get it to fall though. And again, these first opening 2 minutes, nothing still yet to fall for Texas State. This series has been a constant lead for Louisiana. Not a singular tie just yet here through 7 minutes.
Juro tried to rip a shot from the corner, but it is well defended by Geed. Lucky to take over, just a sidewall touch back to Lyle. I'm going to be a soft lob to the backboard. Jackson to take it away. Demo down below. This one will be in from Geed. An absolute snipe over the top of the defense. Goes bar down and in. Gives Louisiana a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. They said, hey, we can own goal bar down in. We can also score bar down in. Now our first equilibrium scoreline here in game 2.
We got a tie ball game, 2:55 to go. The Bobcats on the board here in game 2. We'll see if they can continue to fight Somber as the Raging Cajuns now looking to go right back to where they started with their lead earlier as Juro trying to connect with a pass. Will connect with Lost here as again the offense of the Raging Cajuns, highly lethal as we know it. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with at the CCS Championships later next month.
Louisiana also, their offense is absolutely stellar at all times, but I want to credit their rotations. I never really see any openings for them to get countered on. They always have someone, despite being 3 men pushed up above that midfield stripe, they have someone that's easily available to go back and defend. It's so tough to find goals against them via just little ticky-tacky mistakes. They are such a sound squad and a sound roster. That time the net is open. It might loft on in, and Lucky makes me eat my own words. That time Louisiana's defense just spaces out a little bit. Lost thinks that, it looks like they misflipped and ended up just not being able to get that challenge up. A miscue on defense, a rare one at that for Louisiana. And Texas State, they find their first lead of the series.
That they do. 2:03 to go, and you mentioned that tough defense. Again, beating Louisiana is no easy task. Your defense has to be near perfect for at least 20 minutes in a series. You can't let their offense get too, started in a game such as this, and you're only really going to beat them in these low-scoring affairs that are close 1-2 goal differences.
Back-to-back amazing defensive stints for Texas State. They need to be able to hold on to this lead, if not build upon it. Touch like that is not going to do you much good. Juro now trying to line up the solo play. A long clear off the backboard by Lucky will be received by Jackson. They play this one back down to the ground, wanting to get that last little touch over the top of the defense, but Geed will take it away. Lost infield pass has Juro. Great defense. Swarming the net is Texas State. Geed again backwards. We'll put it into the corner. Lyle has a little bit of boost to work with, but Juro threatening on that 50 will send it across the pitch. Fake shot from Lost will be denied. Juro back at the midfield, lobs it up for Jackson. Cannot complete the alley-oop play, but Lost on the rebound will get the equalizer.
65 seconds. It's Juro to Lost here for a game-tying goal with 65 to play. Somber. The lead lasted quite some time, but the Texas State defense falling apart in critical time here in game 2.
Need to be able to lock in this time off the kickoff. Lost just did not go, but Juro is able to come up and that one is pinched off the post. It looks like there were multiple people involved in that play. It looks like Lost was just re-DC'd, maybe a controller issue. Juro comes in, not the best touch. Jackson and Lost pinch it against each other, and in Texas State get that lead right back.
58 seconds, just 7 seconds later, trade it back for a 1-goal affair here, as we'll see if Louisiana could get this game back to equilibrium, as Juro from midfield to quickly denied and turned away. Lucky with control over one. Jackson keeps the offense alive in Texas State territory. Geed launching forward. Texas State Somber just 40 seconds away from a win.
It's a nice redirect, trying to get it downfield is Lost. Jackson back over to Juro, intercepted by Geed. One will be a clear out into the corner. Lost being tracked down. Lucky flip reset pass and shot from Lyle will go far post and away from the defender. Texas State find that cushion, under 30 seconds to go. 2 goals, still not the safest lead, but the safest that you've had on the side of the Bobcats the entire series so far.
26 seconds, Louisiana trailing 2, and both teams about to take turns trading out a 2-goal win here. Somber is game 2 now. Texas State in control.
Big time 50. Lost might be able to get back to it. Geed is able to get a piece of the ball. Jackson low boost back mid. Lost is waiting there. Lyle, great denial on the goal line, and as time starts to tick down, Juro might be able to get one for the road, dishing it out to Lost, denied again by the Texas State defense. Lost will go ahead and just put that one to the turf, and Texas State, they come around, and own goal or not, they did find the lead when it mattered, and they come out with a win.
And a big time win that is as well. You know, a late game effort gets that last minute surge to tie us up at 1. Somber Lost choked on his water and spit it out when he was AFK. That's what happened on that third goal for Texas State there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say off the kickoff, it's odd to see in a competitive match a player be AFK for a kickoff. Maybe in comp, definitely in cash, but in a CCS match in your conference championship game, makes a lot more sense that you were trying not to spit up water all over your setup and keep that all fresh and ready to go. But speaking of fresh and ready to go, we got a fresh 5 on the clock and game 3 with an equal series. Turn this one back into a best of 5 between these two. See what that has in store for us. It kicks off with an own goal. Of course it does.
It's another early start here, just 14 seconds. Louisiana back on top by 1, but Somber, we have a level series at 1-1, and again now a best of 5 ahead of us here.
Yeah, this is what you want out of Texas State. Continue this momentum through. Whether you lose the next 3, win the next 3, trade them back and forth, whatever it may be, you want to just contend with Louisiana. Having the 2-goal loss and then a 2-goal win and now a 2-goal deficit in game 3, it's par for the course, but you want to be able to keep these scorelines tight. Not getting blown out here is absolutely crucial, but Louisiana know that. Louisiana know that they're going to need a big, pivotal game 3 swing in their favor if they want to make quick work of this series. Coming out in the opening 30 seconds, putting 2 on the board, the great start to that.
Absolutely. And again, for Texas State here, you know, their key to victory is splitting or winning the opening 4. Right now, they split the opening 2. We'll see how this second split of 2 goes, Somber. But again, if they could split this opening 4 or lead the opening 4, this could be big, crucial dividends for the Bobcats.
Jackson a bit awkward. A little bit of a miscommunication on the back line, too. Lost has to come in awkward off that back wall and find a touch. Juro, him looking for the side wall. Gets bumped off the ball as Geed was looking to get a 50. We got the player instead. Get another bump on Juro. Lyle puts it back center off of a missed touch from Jackson. Juro again starved out in corner. They're just trying to starve out that first man of Louisiana, doing it perfectly. Might be able to read the waterfall down, but it will be a long clear out. Juro still on low resources. Now looking for the skimmer out of the corner, trying to get it center for loss. Double commit in the skies by Louisiana. Texas State might have an opportunity here as they're scrambling back for defense. Need the bump on Juro, but he avoids it masterfully and gets the save to boot. They hold on to that 2-goal lead.
Bobcats 90 seconds down, still trailing 2. Jackson killed for his efforts there by Lyle. The Bobcat defense in limbo here as they will find one save. Back for Juro towards the corner, denied wide left. 3:15 to go, the clock ticking, but the Bobcat offense still trying to find ways to score. They nearly get one to fall. Their rebound is way wide as well. Nothing able to fall. The Raging Cajuns still hold nothing on the board.
Texas State doing exactly what they need to, which is try to contain pressure here in the Louisiana half. Geed is able to find the boost starve as well. Gets the defender to jump early. Does not matter. Lost with one boost in the tank. Finds the save across the goal line. Juro, again, low resources, trying to win out the resource battle as well is Texas State. But Jackson finally tops up the resources. Geed will try to get a back pass back, but ends up finding it into the hands of Lost. Lucky now on a solo effort, might be able to find one more. Jackson misses off the crossbar, but Juro down below will find the save away. Again, Texas State, they're trying to keep it as contained as they possibly can, but Louisiana is pulling out the air dribble bumps. They're pulling out the starves of their own, trying to get these interception plays as well, and barely now hanging on to this 2-goal lead as Texas State has been absolutely unrelenting in this latter half.
0:08 to go here in game number 3. And again, Texas State have had a couple of A1 opportunities to score in this first half, Somber, but this Louisiana defense has held them completely unscathed so far. Geed, snapshot denied by Lost. Now Lost in a one-on-one with Lyle, quickly given up back to the Texas State defense. And this Louisiana offense has just been lethal for the last couple minutes here, Somber.
Lyle just got a beam bump on Geed and is going to force some awkward defense to be played now by Texas State. We're heading down to the final 90 seconds here. Juro will top up the resources and turn and pop at that midfield stripe. Jackson calls off their teammates and it's a touch to the sidewall. Looks like they wanted to try to maybe bang it down the pitch, but could not find the touch. Lost now, low resources. You're trying to fight through some 50s. Geed will turn, pop that one off. Ceiling reset at their disposal. Not able to find the 50. Jackson to clean up the touch. Lucky touch off target. Jackson again. Will pass their name, finds the follow through, and Jackson gets the third and extends that lead even further here for the Raging Cajuns.
Jackson just gets the lead to challenge there from the corner and leaves that net wide open. 109 to go, 69 seconds. It's a 3-0 lead as the Raging Cajuns in the driver's seat position yet again here in game 3. Now quickly under a minute to go, approaching as Texas State going to need 3 here to take a lead.
Similar beats as game 1, but maybe a different strategy as Louisiana started out much hotter than they did in game 1. A similar story as we're now under a minute, 3-goal lead. Texas State might be able to find some offense late game here, but it's going to be tough nonetheless to even get one on the board at this point. Lyle will drop the pass infield. Bump is off target by Lucky. Didn't even matter as Juro is able to sky up and get their savior on the day. Lost will collect possession, has 2 Texas State attackers in the corner with them. Back pass to Geed will be intercepted by Jackson, but shot will be saved away. Lucky over to Lyle. Lyle trying to go 1v2, couldn't get that final touch to get it past Juro. As time starts to tick down, that might be a 4th to fall in as Lost gets the breakaway. And 4-0 now with 15 on the clock. Louisiana going to run away with this one.
That should wrap things up here, Somber. Barring a somehow stunning miracle, this series should shift to a 2-1 Louisiana lead after 3, with 15 to go with a dominant fashion victory in game 3.
Right now, maybe look for just a final second play, get some type of momentum rolling in your favor. Geed trying the flip reset pass down. It will get behind all 3 members of Texas State. Lyle will just opt to play this one, but Geed has to now play this one back up to the skies. Pre-jump play is on. Lyle down below. Shot is on target. Saved away by Louisiana. Will they finally just let this one touch turf? Lost the sidewall. Juro keeps the play alive. It looks like we're going full 0-second drill. That one will finally touch the turf. Louisiana takes game number 3 to win the series.
And on to game 4. Louisiana again outshot 10-6 here in game number 3. And if the offense comes up with nothing, Somber 0 for 10 in a 4-0 loss effort for the Bobcats.
I'm not the one to want to call people out, but 70 points for Lucky. If you're not getting all 3 members involved on the scoreboard, not necessarily just the goals, but you're getting the saves, you're getting the clears, maybe you're getting the centers, the things that don't show up on the necessary scoreboard but attribute to their score. Having a player that's not breaking 100 is a rough scene to be in when you're playing against a team like Louisiana. Would like to see them kind of have some more active hands in that department. Be a little bit more active in your centering balls, in getting touches kind of spread out a little bit more. You are kind of resulting to that solo play mentality again, where you're having one person put up all the points and you're hoping that something can kind of formulate and operate out of nowhere on the other side of it as Geed off the kickoff. I think this has now been all four games so far have started off with a kickoff goal of some type.
I think you're right. As again, 5 seconds in this time, it's a Texas State goal early on. They finally get first blood, and this one is best of 7 could shift to a best of 3 if Texas State can split this. Second 2, which I said earlier, if they can split the first 4, anything can happen in the best of 3. So we'll see if the Bobcats can keep this up for a little while longer, Somber. But right now, all is well here for Texas State from San Marcos, Texas.
Need to be able to just play with this lead and play in the driver's seat. We saw in game 2 that when they got that lead, yeah, it may have gotten back to tied up, but they were able to extend the scoreline back out. You play with a little bit more confidence when you get the first on the board, and hopefully we see that in game number 4 here for Texas State. Because like you said, if they're able to split it and turn this one into a best of 3, anything can happen. If you then go down 3-1 to Louisiana, it's going to be a rough night ahead of you. The lost, we'll get pool shotted into that touch. Jackson out of the corner. We'll find the second touch, pass down to Juro, and puts it far post past the defense. Juro gets Louisiana back on the board.
I'm going to talk about Lucky's points last game, only dropping 70. I don't know if you watched or saw that tweet from the Syracuse game, but Lefser went for 0 points in 5 demos and was a demon. And back in that third game of the Florida State series, he went for 0 points and 5 demos in that game and finished the score with 0 points, the first player ever to do so in a CCS match.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Syracuse here versus Texas State. I think that Syracuse squad could afford to have a player drop sub 30 at any given game, and they're still in it, given the quality of that roster. But I could be wrong. Texas State could come out and have one of these players drop 50 and they pull out the win in game 4 against Louisiana. But I think that when you have a team that when you're winning, all 3 players are getting involved, like what we saw in game 2, having a player not crack 100 is not going to be something that you look to actively do here, as they have been much more active, all 3 members of Texas State, as we head into the first minute 45 of game number 4 here, and they look to be on the attack once more. Lost will try to find some breathing room here at the midfield stripe, but it is Texas State to just put it right back on that red half.
2 minutes down here in game number 2, as Texas State trying to split the opening 4 and make this a best of 3. But again, beating Louisiana, I said it earlier, your defense has to be as near perfect as possible for a 5-minute game to give your offense a chance to win a low-scoring game, because you're not going to beat them scoring a lot of goals, because they simply just don't give up a lot of goals in games like this, Somber.
Yeah, Louisiana, it's one of those teams where you might actively want to play by having the other team score less goals than you. A lot of times you want to go with the mentality of not playing passive and be a score first team and put up a ton of points. Oh my goodness, bar out for Texas State. But Louisiana is one of the few teams in CCS where it's okay, how can we play as perfectly as we can on defense and try to find gaps in the armor, try to force this one to an overtime and put something in our favor, and not leave it up to, will Louisiana have a rare off night? You need to be able to contain them as best as you can. And here in game 4, again, very reminiscent of game 2, you're keeping it equal for a good chunk of the game, and then come out late game, find that go ahead and maybe trade blows here in the final minute, but need to find a way to get back in the driver's seat here for Texas State, as Louisiana, if this one goes to an OT, they're going to trust their chemistry, they're going to trust their ice a lot more and be a lot more comfortable in this position, especially being up in the series.
Yeah, getting Juro in isolation is a scary sight to think about as a defender, especially for Texas State here. If they get a one-on-one with Juro in their own net, I mean, it's going to be a rough save to make. But a minute 20 remains in the clock here. Somber still equal at 1 as Texas State trying to find a way to score a big one here in crunch time to take a 2-2 in the series and force a best of 3. But right now, Louisiana trying to get to match point.
Jackson, nice little pop. Trying to get a heat check in here late game as we're inching down to the final minute here. Lucky will try to find the breakout, pressures Jackson just enough for them to put a soft shot on target. Jackson touching to their own corner, loss on the back wall, will read it. Lyle shot going to go off target, no second man up for Texas State. Geed, big time 50, follows it up with one more against Juro. They are able to turn and fling that one to the backboard. No touch off that backboard, and the clearance will eventually find its way, but infield passing play will spell disaster here for Texas State as defense gets absolutely crumbled in that situation. Just a nice simple infield pass, lost, able to put that one in, and they find their lead.
38 seconds, a 2-1 lead now for Louisiana. We'll see if the Bobcats can get something to fall soon, as now they're in desperation, Somber. They got to score to keep this series realistically within striking distance.
Final 30 seconds, down by one. A double commit out of your own corner is not what you want, but a big ground pinch 50 out maybe is, as that could be an igniter for the offense here. Instead, it will be Juro trying to put this one all the way down the pitch. Jackson comes in to lend a helping hand. Lyle now has to go one-on-one against Juro. They get their boost starved. That one back mid. Jackson will be able to find that one around Geed. Maybe one more good look. Again, no one up playing for Texas State. Everyone back trying to find boost. Maybe find a 0 second. No. Touch over the top. And Louisiana puts this one on triple match point.
Bobcats unable to split the opening four, but things are looking quite good for the Bobcats for a little bit there. Somber now in Game 5, facing season-ending elimination here.
Again, if you can grab a game and just extend the series, it's going to be that much better for you and a better indicator for where you're heading going into a much more stacked Sun Belt in the fall. And it may not spell disaster for your season, right? You still got the selection show, put out a good showing here and put up some quality wins in this series, and that might inch you back in. But I think the main thing in the back of their mind is play to score. You need to be a little bit more aggressive against Louisiana. I said in the last game, Louisiana is one of those teams where you kind of go in with the mindset of playing a little bit more passive, playing a little bit more defensive focused, as you know that they're going to be able to score in bunches. You need to take some of that mentality from Louisiana and put yourself firmly in the driver's seat, find multiple goals to open, and do your best to play that get-back defense, something that we have not seen out of Texas State outside of Game 2.
I don't know how Jackson did not die there, but nonetheless, play continues at 0-0. He was getting driven by that Texas State defender, but again, the first 40 seconds here, still tied at 0. As this time, for the first time this series, Somber, there's no early kickoff goal.
Love to see it. Love to see breaking the trends, and hopefully Texas State can break the trend here and keep this one at 0-0 for longer than the first 2 minutes and then find themselves a lead. But Louisiana, they want to make quick work of this. They dropped Game 2 and then want to go flawless after that. Lucky will find a pass down over to Geed, intercepted by Lost, pre-jumped it from midfield, burned through a lot of boost just to get the read on the pass. Lyle over the top of one, will be deflected on the goal line by Juro. Lucky is on that sidewall, trying to pressure Juro from behind. Lyle will have to find a bounce touch. Jackson is trying to shadow the play to go for Louisiana. Lucky comes in, pumps the brakes, didn't get the right touch that they wanted. Geed will opt to just try to put a shot on target, see if they can keep that one contained in Louisiana's half. But again, we find ourselves back playing offense for Louisiana on the Texas State side.
It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds left. Lucky 20 boost in the tank, lost, blocked by Lucky, has no lead blocker as Juro will recollect here. His boost stolen, still on 0, trying to bob and weave through the defense, couldn't get it to fall. Lyle comes away with possession for the Bobcats at Texas State. 3 minutes to go here in Game 5, and a crucial game for the Bobcats to keep their season alive. Somber, this is a must-win.
Lost, looking to go over the top. Great pre-jump defense from Lyle, but Juro underneath. We'll put this one to the midfield stripe. Geed with a nice read off the bounce. Jackson to collect. Lucky tries to go backboard. Lost is there to maintain possession. Plays it over the top over to Juro. Another handoff play between the duo. Juro, Musty is off target, not able to get the scoop on it. Geed infield pass to Lyle just to get past one. There are two all the way back for Louisiana. They know that this game is pivotal to them. They want to go ahead and end it in 5. Maybe not seeing as much pressure as we normally do out of this Louisiana squad, as it's still 0-0 with 2:12 on the clock. Juro, no boost to keep the solo play going, but Jackson will find the shot. Geed, nice recovery, soft shot. Jackson, look at it, just parked the bus on the goal line, but no goal for Louisiana.
2-minute warning here in Game 5, still tied at 0, 3 minutes in with no scoring, which could bode well for the Bobcats, hence the So far, so good defense we've seen tonight so far in Game 5. The Bobcats sitting just 5 saves so far. So they've been quite good in Game 5, but the offense still have yet to answer the calling of the defense here for a goal late.
This truly has the makings of who is going to break first, who is going to find that little gap in their armor and concede that first goal. And it may be one that is only one that is needed for either team, as both teams have been playing lights out defense. Geet off that backboard will find the clear out. Got to follow it up with a possession. Flip reset. Lucky went as well. Be a little bit risky for Lyle to go here. They do find a delay touch. Some members back on defense. Lyle bunked, but still finds the touch. Lucky half flips. Wanted the possession play against Lost, but loses out that 50 battle. Lyle with a nice 50 out of the corner. Lost continues the attack. Jackson can't find the read. A little bit of a whiffy 50 out of the corner. Juro sniped shot, and that one will be good. Juro gets the opening goal here under a minute to go.
Bobcat defender there just drives away from the play and opens up the hole. Somber 56 seconds. That third man, that's on him. Again, it's the defensive rotations that are going to kill you in crunch time like this. And Louisiana strike on their first look. It's 1-0 with under a minute to go.
Almost saw a kickoff goal there. Lucky puts it the wrong way. Geed is back with boost. Will now go for the solo effort off the sidewall. Flip ceiling reset. Ends up just empty jumping. Gets a bump on Jackson. Lyle no boost. Juro will get dunked to find his way all the way in the opposite corner. Lucky able to find the recovery on that sidewall. Geed delay touch at midfield. Lost will pop. Try to take to the skies. Look for a double tap. Drops it in, and Lost finds what may be the dagger here for Louisiana.
The Texas State defense may have just been lost as well, Somber. 27 seconds to go. It's a 2-0 Raging Cajun lead. They're 27 seconds away from a third straight trip to the CCS championships.
And they're looking to absolutely lock it up. Another big-time kickoff win for Texas State, but Jackson with boost puts it a little bit precarious outside their own box, but will find the challenge. Juro, fresh out of a demo, will find the touch out of the corner. They get the boost grab in. Lost. Geed, flip reset, has to just beat Jackson. Bump is good. Geed will not go down without a fight. Texas State cut the lead in half.
They get 10 seconds. It's got to be off the kickoff where, keep it alive for some time on 0 seconds here, Somber. 10 seconds, you're going to get 1, maybe 2 good looks if you're lucky.
Need another big-time kickoff win here. Lyle does go straight into the hands of Lost. Lost can play possession through the air. Jackson wanted the double commit play. This one will pinch out. Now have to drive the length of the field. 0 second drill is still very much alive. That touch not the best though. Lyle will keep it alive off that sidewall. Big dunk from Lost. Bounce out. Geed is able to get back to the ball. Jackson to intercept. They want to just spike it. Lyle will intercept, grab the boost, and find a pinch. It's a weak pinch though. Juro off the sidewall, maybe looking to spike here. Will keep the play alive. Geed, no boost, keeps it up. Jackson over the top of one. Now Lyle, lone man back, does not matter. Jackson on 0 seconds gets that one to go. Louisiana are back to the Natty.
That they are. They're back to the CCS championships for a third straight season. 3-1 your final. 4-1 the series final. It's going to be a 4-1 victory, Somber, in near utter dominant fashion.
Yeah, I mean, 2 goals, the scoreline basically all the way through. You did have that blowout game in Game 3 for Louisiana, but they've done what they've continued to do for basically their entire run in CCS, which is win, and win convincingly. This was a very convincing series for Louisiana, and I'm excited to see them back in national play. They're going to make another deep run. They look absolutely dialed in here against Texas State. And that Northeastern result is looking better and better as time goes on from non-conference. So, again, excited to see what they can do outside of the Sun Belt.
Me as well. We're going to go to a break. When I come back in about an hour, be joined with Fox Milwaukee. We'll take on IU Indianapolis, followed by Northern Arizona and Idaho. We'll see you guys later tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.